Hello. It's about 8 o'clock and I am starting to feel tired. I wouldn't have spoken to you this morning because my cousin was here. My night was okay. I went to sleep around 10 and I woke up once when my cousin came home, which I presume would have been around 10:30, 11ish, so not that much later. Then I woke up again just after midnight, and when I woke up at midnight, I was so convinced it was 6 in the morning. I was so convinced because I felt like I'd slept so well. And I was really proud of myself. I was like, brilliant, I've slept through the night. And then I looked at my watch and it was midnight or just after. And I thought, And my cousin was still awake, so I just quickly chatted to her, went back to sleep. And then I woke up, I think, once or twice more during the night, but went straight back to sleep. And then I woke up at 5:45 and I was like, I'm going to try and go back to sleep because I've got another hour and a half or so before I need to get up. But I could feel I was just no longer tired at all, and I was really struggling. So by the time it got to about, I think, 6:05, maybe 10 past, I just gave up and woke up. So not terrible, but definitely not great, and not as good as my first night in Australia. But, it should be okay. I got through work absolutely fine. It's only now that I'm starting to be a bit tired, and I feel like I could go to bed right away. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try and stay up for another, 2 hours at least. And then see where we go from there, see what happens. But today I got some really, really, really exciting news. Nothing to do with me, but just very exciting news. And I can't quite believe it. And it's just the best. It makes me so happy. So that's sort of really given me an energy boost throughout the day. And then this evening I went to my first house viewing. I may as well tell you about this. As you may have gathered, I'm looking to move out in the next few months, but realistically, I'm able to move out from tomorrow, more or less. But because I'm hoping to find a place of my own, it's going to be very hard to find because there's going to be a lot of competition and I don't have a big budget, so I'm looking for the very cheapest. And yeah, it's not going to be fun. I probably will end up making a separate video about all of it, but I may as well document on here that that's something I started today. I am feeling sleepy. I'm definitely feeling sleepy, but it's okay. I'm gonna get through it. I just need to not fall asleep in the next 2 hours. If I go to sleep at 10, that's fine. Not ideal, but it's fine, and I'm working early again tomorrow. Actually, I don't need to. I could sleep in, but I won't. But that's okay. I will wake up early and then go to sleep at whatever time I go to sleep tomorrow night, and then on Friday I have the day off. So we'll see what the day becomes. That being said, do you know what? Sorry, this is actually totally not related to what I was just saying, but I've discovered that my phone doesn't seem to work because I keep getting emails from people or messages saying, we've tried to call you, but we can't get through. And what I've discovered is that while I was away, my network switched 3G off, and apparently my phone is not compatible with 4G and 5G. And the problem is, I really like my provider. I find them very good and very cheap, mainly, which is, the most important thing. But that's not even the reason I'm resistant to swapping. The reason I'm resistant to swapping is because many networks are switching off their 3G. And if I switch over to something that's more expensive and then in 5 months theirs switches off, then it's not worth it. And I can still use my data. And the truth is, usually, it's so rare for me to make or receive phone calls. It's only because I'm applying to all these properties to view. But it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So I've just remembered I've got a bunch of voicemails I need to listen to and hope that they work. But anyway, that's all for now. I will see you later. Bye. Hello. I'm tired. I had a good day at work though. I've had a good few days back. I feel like I'm doing pretty okay with jet lag. I'm just waking up that little bit earlier, which honestly isn't a problem seeing as I'm working early, and I'm going to bed slightly earlier, which is annoying. But I have tomorrow off, and we had a bit of a lull at one point during the day today at work, and I made a list. I started making a list of everything I need to get done, and I sorted it into priority and needs to get done on Friday, and then bonus stuff if I've got time. And it's a long list. Even just the priority is pretty long. And then once you look at the bonus stuff, it's a lot. But the thing is, it looks like a lot, but I actually think each task is probably, 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think anything is ridiculously long. The one thing I want to do tomorrow is run though, because it has been so long since I've ran. And as I mentioned, I think yesterday or whenever it was, it's getting dark now when I get home from work. So my days off need to be the days that I run. And then I'll finally get to try out all my new running gear, which is fun, but that will be in a separate running vlog. I've been busy with those. I think I'm going to do a laundry tonight. Usually my grandma doesn't like me doing, or us doing, laundries around Shabbat or just before, because she doesn't like having the clothes hanging out, which I totally understand, kinda. It's a personal preference and not necessarily mine, but that's fine. And so I said to her, I had this thought, if my cousin isn't here for the next 2 or 3 nights, maybe I can do my laundry and hang it up in my room. Then it doesn't bother her, hopefully. It won't bother my cousin, and it gets to hang for longer because I'll have all of tomorrow and all of Shabbat. Because usually what happens with the 2 of us and 1 air dryer is that we each time it only gets to hang for like, I don't know, not even a day. Now, admittedly, now that we're in winter, I actually feel like the clothes are going to dry faster because the whole flat is warmer because the heating's on. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me because basically we don't get sun necessarily in the summer. Like, that isn't what's helping us dry our clothes. It's just air, and there is more heat being built into the flat. I don't know. But we'll see. I've got the time anyway to let it hang for a while. So I'm quite excited about that idea. And I did ask her, and she did say it was okay as long as it's not out, which it won't be. So I think I'm going to do that now. I would like to put this dress in, although I've only worn it today, and I very much believe that unless it's, got dirtied, you can wear clothes more than once. But we've got guests. We've got my grandma's friends coming round in about an hour. So I need to be dressed. So I'll keep wearing it and I'll just throw it in the next load of laundry, but it does mean I can wear it again, so that's fine. I love this dress so much. Everything about it is perfect, except the size. Sorry, we're going on a tangent. I bought this dress a number of years ago. I don't remember exactly when, maybe 2019. And at the time when I bought it, it was already a little bit on the small side, but I was like, it'll be fine. And now, 5-6 years later, it's still on the small side, and I would say it's probably a little bit smaller still, and that could be the wash, and it could be me, and it could be a combination, but I'm just annoyed. I'm like, if only I'd gone 1 size up at the time when I bought it, it would just fit better now. But equally, I know why I didn't, and that's because the skirt length is already quite long on me. Not super long, it goes to my knees, which is like a decent level, but I wouldn't want it to go any longer. And I think that was my concern with going up a size. So, I don't know. But I mean, it is gorgeous. It's just the most beautiful dress. Oh, and I couldn't find the belt though. And it's the first time I've worn it since, I don't even know when. English is working for me right now. And then I'm wearing these earrings. I wore a different pair yesterday from the same set, which is a new set, which is the set that my other cousin left behind and was like, you can have them, I guess. And I don't know how I feel about them, to be honest. They're a bit bulky and they're just not, I don't know, they're not hitting the spot for me. Anyway, I am going to put on the laundry and then I'm going to do something else, but I can't remember what. That's the main thing, I think, for me when I'm jet lagged. Like, on the whole, I'm actually fine, as I say, except those sort of 2 hours that I'm off, which is pretty impressive when you consider that it's an 11-hour time difference. But the brain fog, it's not even fog, it's like the delay, the lag. Anyway, whatever. All right, bye. Hello, I need to charge my camera tonight. This is good. The guests have just left. I've just brought in the laundry because it's finished, so I'm about to hang it up. I can get into pajamas, which I can't wait for. And it's 10 o'clock, and I'm feeling loads better than I did the last few nights at 10. So even if I'm just up for another half hour to an hour, that's already a win, I think. Like, going to bed at 11 is a lot more reasonable than going to bed at 10, in my opinion. And I was already getting tired at like 9:30, so this is good. I'm so warm now. All right, I'm gonna hang up this laundry and then maybe watch something. I've been reading a book as well. I've been listening to a book called That's Not What I Said, I think. It's a non-fiction about a black teacher in a white English system, and it's very interesting so far. So maybe I'll listen to a bit more of that. We'll see. But I'm very hot. I need to get changed and I need to hang this up. Yay! Good morning. It's about 10:30. I woke up almost exactly an hour ago. I feel very happy with the night I had. I went to bed at 11:30, woke up at 9:30. Brilliant. I think I woke up once in the night and that was it, I think. So we're getting better, we're getting there. I think I mentioned yesterday at work I made a long list of things I want to do with my day off, and it's 10:30 now and I've already done a number of them. Admittedly, not loads, but some of the biggest things. But that being said, one of them was to make a bunch of calls, and I've made those calls, but with all the numbers I called, they said, we'll call you back. I can't quite remember what I was talking about, but whatever. One of my main tasks for today is to go running. So what I did was I got up, as I say, at 9:30 and I literally had breakfast immediately, which I don't like doing. I much prefer having an hour or so just like either chilling or starting to get through some of the stuff I need to get through, and then I'll go have breakfast. But I would prefer to run as early as possible. I even considered just going straight for a run as soon as I got up, but it just felt weird. I don't know, I know people do it, but it felt weird to me. So I finished breakfast around 9:45, so I'm going to say it was 10 o'clock, and then I allow an hour and a half before I go for my run, and it is now 10:45, so I've got about 45 minutes, maybe half an hour. And honestly, I just really want to go out there. It looks like it's a lovely cold morning, and I just want to go for a run. It's been so long. And then when I get back from running, obviously I'm going to shower and wash my hair, because that's needed. And then once I've done that, there is one main task I have left that I definitely want to get done today, and it's to do with Taskmaster. And then it's all just the other stuff. In fact, the Taskmaster task I can maybe do now while I'm waiting to kill time and waiting for people to call me back. Yeah, maybe I'll do that and drink some water. All right, let's go. Hello, we are doing very, very well on our daily list of things I wanted to get done. There were 7 items on my priority list, things I kind of had to get done today, and I've got 2 left, but one was a question mark because it was calling my parents and it would depend on if they were free, and they are not free, so I will try and call them another time. In fact, that means I can cross it off. And then the last thing I'm hesitant about because it's booking a flight and it's not very expensive, so I kind of should just do it before the prices go up. But my biggest problem is trying to decide the timing, because I'm trying to work it out from work, because I'll be going straight from work, and I'm just like, oh, do I take the earlier flight and then feel far more stressed, but most likely still make my flight? Or do I take the later flight, feel a bit more relaxed, but then arrive later? But like, I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at everything, and I think if I were to finish work even half an hour late, which, to be honest, usually if we're running late, my manager just says if you want to go, you can go. Not that I like to do that, and not that I've ever taken them up on it. Maybe once. But regardless, even if I am half an hour late finishing work, I would still get to the airport 2 hours before my flight. And this is going to be a flight where I'm not bringing a suitcase, it's just my backpack. And I know how it goes. Like, I'm checked in the day before, so all I need to do is go through security and that's it. And I always end up waiting at the gate like 2.5 hours because I get to the airport 3 hours before my flight. So I'm tempted to book the earlier one, but I know I'll be stressed. Whereas if I book the later one, that's the reason I always go to airports early. It's just to avoid the stress. It's not because I'm actually worried about missing my flight. It's the same anytime I travel anywhere, like locally. I always try to allow so much time that I can just relax. But do I just bite the bullet and let myself be stressed for a day to save like an hour to an hour and a half on the other end? And I feel like I'm leaning towards it. So that's why I haven't done that one task yet. But aside from that, we're done with the priority stuff. That's really loud. This tea, by the way, is the perfect temperature. I'm very happy about it. And then my bonus stuff, I've got 9 items. And I know, realistically, none of them are going to take that long. And one of them is just catch up on my YouTube watch later list. So that's not a priority. None of these are. One of them is to film a video though that I started before I went to Australia. So maybe I'll do that now. I'm not wearing the most exciting clothes though. I like to dress up a little bit for videos, not vlogs, but the other stuff. But maybe I'll do that, because then I can also edit that video, because I think it's taking up quite a bit of space on my laptop, and my laptop is not at its happiest at the moment, I can tell. And I've just charged my camera, so we should have enough juice. I've used juice twice now in a vlog to describe my camera battery, and I really don't like using it as a term for battery, but it somehow keeps happening. And the thing is, my grandma's out, so when am I gonna get this opportunity? I might need to shut the window though. Yeah, maybe we'll just do that. Pop in some earrings, go wild. Yeah, let's do it. Bye! Hello, I tried something new when I washed my hair today, and actually I feel like it really worked. Something's in my throat, but yeah, I'm happy with that. You never know with my hair. You never know what's gonna happen. Even if I did the same thing every week, I don't think I'd get the same results. Anyway, I feel very accomplished. I've done a lot of the things on my list. I finished filming the Libra video. I've started editing the part 1 of it because I'm gonna have to split it into 2 parts. I think. Maybe I don't. Let me see how I go on the first half. I booked my flight and I realised the time I thought the earlier flight was at was wrong by about 20 minutes. And it was actually 20 minutes earlier, and that was too stressful for me. So I've just booked the later flight. But the later flight was also 20 minutes earlier, so actually it works out better. Much less stressful, I'm sure. I hope. I feel like I'm more on top of things today than I have been since I got back, even since I was away. We're getting back into the flow of things, which is nice. But now it is Shabbat in like 10 minutes or so I need to get myself ready. I can't believe it. We are now reaching the like sub 4 o'clock Shabbat comes in time period, which means that our Fridays are half days, but equally it means that Saturday nights become free again, which is great for shows. But anyway, that's all from me, and I'll see you after Shabbat probably, or whenever I speak to you next. Bye! Hello. It's about half an hour since Shabbat went out, give or take, and all day today I've just been ruminating on so many different YouTube thoughts. And the annoying thing about Shabbat is that it's wonderful that it gives you all this time to think, but you can't write any of it down. So I've literally, since Shabbat gone out, just made lists and made notes, and I feel like I've got the rest of my year for YouTube sorted, and I already thought I had a plan, but I've changed my plan because I've decided I am going to do 12 days of Vlogmas, which you would have seen, I think, by now. I just can't not do something. I just feel like having a year without the series. You know, I've been on YouTube for about 10 years, well, coming up to 9 years, which is also crazy. And I think my first Vala was in 2016. So if I can do this year and next year and one more, then I can stop. But as a result, I need to have ideas for Vlogmas, because in the past Vlogmas, well, it changes, but some years it has been actually vlogging my life. And I like the idea of that, but equally, obviously, I like to have all my vlogs as a separate playlist and in chronological order, and I won't be able to do that. I just won't. So instead, I'm going to do what I did, I think last year, or maybe the time before, but that is to just talk about stuff, ideally festive, holiday related, hopefully, or at least New Year's-y. I mean, obviously, I've got so many New Year's videos to make anyway, I'm definitely going to slot some in. But I think, based off my plan, and I could be wrong, I have one more vlog that I'm going to edit that's going to go up this side of the year, and then everything else, including all this, is going to be next year, which is crazy. Maybe I'll make a video about how I felt this year time has gone, because I was going to chat to you about it now, but it's actually going to be, I think, quite a chat, and that can be a Vlogmas video. So actually you would have seen it already if I've done it. But I do feel really good. I feel like I've suddenly come up with loads of ideas. And because initially when I wanted to do 12 days of Vlogmas, I was a bit concerned that I wouldn't find enough to talk about. And I'm still not fully at 12 days worth of stuff yet, but I've not got 0, which feels like a win. And knowing some of the videos I want to make, I can actually get started on them. I mean, I would like to wear Christmassy earrings and ideally have a slightly better lighting and maybe not wear a black hoodie, but in theory, I can start. And that feels good. It feels good to have a plan, to know what I'm doing. It feels good. But yeah, I find sometimes my creativity with YouTube just totally dries up and all I've got is my, weekly vlogs or whatever they are. And even that at times can be quite boring if I'm not doing very much in a week, even though I always find an excuse to chat to you guys. And to be fair, I've had a very exciting last few weeks, so I feel like it's been interesting content recently, I hope. But I can definitely get to a point where I think, what am I doing? And then other times, I hit a point like today where I have hundreds of ideas and I just can't wait to get started on filming stuff. Now, to be fair, often as we approach sort of the end of the year, I do tend to have more things, all the end of year and start of new year stuff, all that, commercial stuff, I suppose. Although I don't really use it for commercial purposes. I use it for personal, reflective purposes and things like that. But I feel like I've got even more this year than usual, and that feels great. And I feel like I'm very in tune with YouTube at the moment. And hopefully that shines through. And I guess also whilst I was in Australia, I didn't really feel like I had time or maybe energy, or I don't know what it was, but I felt like I was really falling behind on YouTube. Like I was filming stuff as I was going along, but not actually as much as I guess I usually would. And I definitely wasn't editing, and I was really sort of getting a bit overwhelmed about that. I don't know where the sentence started, so I didn't know how to finish it. And I knew I was okay. I knew I had, enough of a safety gap, I suppose. But it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I just don't like that. I like to keep that space for a reason. And I feel like I've now really got back on top of it. And I'm just I was just about to start editing another video, which actually, by the looks of it, either will go up the very last few days of December or the start of New Year. New Year, next year, whatever. 2025 is a nice number. I'm looking forward to it. But again, that we can talk about later. Or in fact, you may have heard that already. Do you know what? By the time you're watching this, I've probably said that hundreds of times already. But yeah, I'm feeling good and I feel like creative juices are flowing and I love that feeling and I love the motivation that comes with it and, you know, the just getting into the work and knowing that by the time, you know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, once I've filmed and edited all the stuff, I will more or less have stuff prepared until, like, knowing myself, probably February. And that's always nice as well to go into the new year. And this does happen to me most years because I always end up with such a backlog of stuff at the end of the year. But I like having that, like, grace period as I enter the new year where I'm like, if I don't do anything for a month, I'm gonna be okay. So yeah, just feeling good. Just wanted to chat to you because I'm excited and I like this feeling a lot and I like documenting it. Let's get back into it. Woo! And I need to charge this. Apparently I forgot to charge it and I've been filming loads the last few days, so actually I filmed a lot yesterday, so gonna charge this. Yee. Hello. It's been like an hour, I think, since I spoke to you, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. I've been making more plans and thinking of more things and I feel so good. I know I said that before, but I feel even more good, even better. And I've just got so many ideas and I can't wait to start filming stuff. But there were 2 things I was going to say to you and I've forgotten the first, but the second, that's really noisy, is that I need to put away my laundry and I have needed to put it away all day. And the reason why I haven't is because I want to listen to music while I put it away. So that's what I'm going to do now. I don't think I'm going to time lapse it for you because I can't be bothered. But I have been thinking for a while that I want to tell you guys about one thing and then about another thing. All these things that I just like have failed to mention in the past or intentionally failed to mention, and I feel ready to share them, and it will be 2 separate videos, which I am considering maybe doing for Vlogmas, but I might not, depending on what's happening. But once I have at least done one of those, I then have a very old video that I filmed years ago and that I've purposely not shown until I make this other video, and I just watched it back because once I make that video I can upload this one. And I'm actually like, obviously the quality isn't as good because it's being filmed on my phone or my camera or whatever it is. Not my camera, my iPad. But like, actually, it's not a bad video. I always thought in my head that it would be worse than I was expecting it to be, but it's not, which feels like a bit of a relief. So once I've made that other video, I can then upload this one and not need to worry about it. I don't need to faff about with it, so that's good. Oh, I'm so excited to share these things with you. You may know already by the time you're watching this vlog, but in case you don't, I don't want to spoil it. Right, I'm gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna play some music whilst I keep charging my this thing. Yay!
I'm so happy. It's snowing!
I am strongly under the impression that someone used my mug while I was away because it looks like there's a lipstick stain and I have never drunk out of this mug with lipstick. Anyway, hello, I'm back. My cousin was here for a couple of nights and she'll be back frequently. But what's very funny is apparently she watches my YouTube videos, which I didn't know. So, hello. And actually we discussed something last night that would be fun to film together. So I'm glad she's in on the idea. She came up with it actually. She came up with the idea and then I said that would make a great YouTube video and she was so in. So yay, because I always want to have more people on this channel, but I just don't tell people that I have YouTube. And I need to get better at that, which is something I've been saying for the last 9 years. But the last few days have been good. I ended up working an extra day today, which I'm quite happy about, to be honest. Well, I'm happy about it in the sense of money and, you know, that aspect of it. But today was the most gorgeous weather and it would have been A, great to run and B, great to film stuff. Because I don't like filming at night where I can avoid it. Obviously vlogs I feel a little bit, you know, I care a little bit less about the way it looks because it's more about my life and it's more realistic. But when I'm doing, well, I mean, all my videos are realistic, but when I'm doing sit-down videos, I prefer to present myself a little bit nicer. And we don't have any fancy studio equipment, so this is what you get. I finished work early today, which was great, and I have just been helping my grandma out, sort of prep for supper, and she's now out, so I'm gonna try and film a couple of bits and bobs while I can, even though it's not light. I just want to make the most of this. Once again, I'm filming loads of videos simultaneously and I just need to like keep track of what I'm doing where. I think that's as much of an update as I'm going to give you for now. There's not been that much stuff. Oh, I went babysitting. That was fun. That was amazing because it was so unexpected. I didn't think they were going to ask me back. And then they asked me back, which is great. And last night, because of the way their day worked out, the kids' days, I got to just spend the 2 hours that they were awake watching a film with them. And it was X-Men, of all things. Luckily, it was one I'd already seen, so that helped. Although the kids kept asking me questions, and I was like, I don't know. And then I sent them to bed, and I hung out with the cats, and I actually remembered my antihistamine this time, which is a win. And then I came home reasonably early, so actually, it was quite a nice babysitting gig. But I would say that's the main news update. I've got tomorrow and Friday off, which is nice. As I say, hoping to film lots of stuff, but I've also, once again, got lots of admin work to do. In fact, what time is it? Because I've got some admin stuff. Oh, it's 5:45. Let me think about stuff. But I've got lots of admin work to do, and I'm hoping to film some stuff if I can. I don't know what my grandma's plans are, though, so we'll see. Oh, that's the perfect temperature. But I presume I will get a chance to speak to you at some point tomorrow. And I'm hoping to go for a run. I hope. I always say that, though, don't I? All right, that's all for now. Bye!